It is a phenomenon of terrifying beauty, the flash of lightning within the dark, brooding clouds of ash thrown out by erupting volcanoes. But scientists now believe they have unraveled the mystery of what causes these dramatic discharges of electrical power from the heart of volcanic ash clouds. Their findings could help volcanologists to monitor and track the progress of powerful eruptions, allowing them to predict how ash and gas will travel through the atmosphere. One study discovered that friction created by ash particles as they are ejected as high pressure from crater led to a buildup of static electricity, leading to chaotic low-level lightning bolts. These often do not discharge downwards towards the ground as seen in traditional thunderstorms, but can travel sideways and even upwards. A second study by a separate group also showed that when ash clouds extend high enough into the atmosphere, ice particles can build up within it and lead to a different sort of electrical discharge. In this case, the ice particles generate the electrical charges they rub together, and the resulting lightning follows the path of the ice particles through the ash cloud. Together, the findings suggest that volcanic lightning can form in even relatively small eruptions as the charge begins to build up as soon as ash is flung into the air. But in very large eruptions, when ash clouds reach high into the atmosphere, the development of ice can enhance these storms to produce some of the most dramatic lightning. Dr. Corrado Cimrulli, a volcanologist at the Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich, Germany, who led the first study, said these differences could help to predict the amount of ash being discharged by an eruption and so give warnings to nearby aircraft about the potential risks. He said, regardless of the size of the eruption, any ash emissions are associated with electrical discharges. This we could measure and use to estimate the amount and distribution of the ejected ash, and from a safe distance of several kilometers and even in poor visibility. So we could estimate the ash distribution in the atmosphere early on and warn the aviation authorities. Dr. Cimrulli and his colleagues, whose research is published in the journal Geophysical Research Letters, used high-speed video footage eruptions from the Sakurajima volcano in Kyushu, Japan. They combined this with infrasound and measurements of the electromagnetic buildup in the ash cloud. Their footage shows the lightning seemed to be restricted to the lower part of the ash plume within a few hundred meters of the crater. Here they say turbulent jets created by the gas thrown out by the volcano create huge pressures that electrify the ash particles by causing them to rub together. Writing in the journal, Dr. Cimrulli and his colleagues said, the chaotic distribution of charges in the growing plume promotes short discharges with tortuous paths and no preferential direction of propagation. The maximum length of lightning flashes increases with time from the onset of the explosion. However, they also found that later in the eruption, as the ash cloud increased in size, the lightning bolts changed to the more familiar vertical cloud-to-ground flashes. In previous work, Dr. Cimrulli showed it was possible to recreate volcanic lightning in the laboratory with similar effects. The second study, also published in the journal Geophysical Research Letters, looked at this lightning in greater detail on the Calbuco volcano in Chile when it erupted in April 2015. Led by Dr. Alexa Van Eaton, a volcanologist at the U.S. Geological Survey Cascades Volcano Observatory in Vancouver, Washington, the research team mapped lighting generated in the eruption. They found that far downwind of the volcano, lightning bolts appear to follow the movements at the very top of the ash plume. According to the team, this is where it was cold enough for ice crystals to develop. Dr. Van Eaton told the American Geological Union, the lightning basically decoupled from all the other ash particles that were falling to the ground. Instead, they seemed to follow the ice crystals that stayed high in the atmosphere.